Hey guys, we are back again outside the M&S Bank Arena in Liverpool, and we are back here for our semi-final 2 qualifying predictions. Now head over to our YouTube channel to see our semi-final 1 predictions. But today it's the turn of semi-final 2, and we are going to go through all of the countries and give our thoughts and ideas on what we think of it, whether we think it's going to qualify or not. And the first country we're going to go to is Denmark and Reiley. Now Clara, we've obviously seen a run through of this. What do you think the chances are that it's going to qualify?
Actually, I have it down as a non-qualifier, even though I love the recorded version, but his vocals are just not there. It doesn't match the recorded version and what we are used to. And the casual viewer will also hear that he's not such an energetic performer. I don't think this is the opener the producers of the show thought it would be. But I think overall the staging is very well done, it's very elegant, and it's gonna go down quite well on TikTok, but I don't think it's gonna go through, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think I would have to agree with you there. Now Shanasi, you were in the arena watching the show, how did you like Denmark?
I thought the staging was really cool. I thought it was very colourful, and I think he has good stage presence, but vocally it didn't really hold up like the studio version.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that's because of the auto-tune. That's just an organic part of that track.
Yeah.
It's almost like it was weird hearing it without that so amplified. So I don't know if that kind of impacted the performance as well.
So do you see Denmark in the final?
I don't. No.
Right, okay, so we have 2 non-qualifiers. Harry, are you going to change this?
Well, I'm scared of breaking Danish hearts.
Back with the puns.
Too obvious. No, I don't think Reiley's qualifying. I like the overall feel and the uniqueness of the main concept of the staging. I think it does help it stand out and really works with the music video and just the whole vibe of the song. However, once we get near the end, once we pass the main selling point, I think the end feels a bit flat, leaves a little bit desired in terms of power. And also, maybe this is a bit superstitious of me or going off facts. Since 2015, there has been at least one opener/closer from the semi-finals combined that has not qualified.
Okay.
Spoiler for my later predictions, I think the closer will be just fine. So with the opener and closer of semi-final 1 getting through, sadly that leaves Denmark as just on the outside.
Okay, so we have Denmark down as a non-qualifier, sadly. But now moving on to the next country, which is Armenia, and we have the lovely Brunette delivering, I think, something quite different. Do you think that's going to be an advantage?
Why is this slot 2? I don't understand. It makes no sense. This is absolutely incredible. This is qualifying for me. I love the feel of the pictures on the LED. I love how it's almost split into 3 segments, but all of them blend in well and work very well. And you know what? The dance break, I think that's included. Spoiler if you haven't seen clips, there's a dance break in this now. Works quite well. Genuinely, one of the best performances, if not the best performance in semi-final 2. And if this doesn't qualify, the slot 2 curse is genuinely real.
Yeah, definitely, I would agree with that. But Shanasi, what are your thoughts?
I loved it. I think it was so much better live and on stage. It was, it was brought to life so much more. I think the staging was great, the direction was great, the choreography was great. I definitely see it qualifying, for sure.
Clara?
Yeah, for me it's a qualifier too, because I love the contrast it creates with her voice is soft, delicate, and then we have this really harsh dance break or this really harsh rap. And it's very hypnotizing, all of these pink lights and the way she's on stage and how she whispers. I think it's a sure qualifier, and I agree with Harry. If this doesn't go through, the curse of the second position is actually real.
Yeah, I definitely have this down as a qualifier myself too. So we are now moving on with country number 3, which is Romania, and a song with quite possibly the most strangest staging, perhaps, Clara?
Yes, it's a non-qualifier for me. It was never really a qualifier, but I know they've tried to do something different in the rehearsals, yet it's still not working. I don't know where, there's no connection with the staging and the song. He has really great vocals, he's really talented. I just don't think this is the song for Eurovision, and definitely the staging is just not there. There is a lack of staging.
Shanasi, what are your thoughts on the staging? Is it working for you?
I'm on the fence about this one, to be honest, because I actually really liked how stripped back it was in the rehearsal and how simplified they made it. And I think it was really interesting to see it more acoustic in the beginning, for sure. And it made me like it a bit more.
Okay.
So
Nice.
we're on a separate page about this.
Okay.
So do you think Europe's going to like it and vote it to the final?
Probably not. But I like it, and that's what matters.
Of course. Harry, are you going to agree with Clara and Shaughnessy on this?
Well, first of all, I must say, I can't believe we've gone a semi-final one video and a little bit in, and Shaughnessy's the first one to use the phrase "on the fence." Yeah, you're so proud of you, Jess. You've done very well this year. Look, Romania has a small chance. All we need to do is get every SpongeBob and Pokemon fan in every voting country to watch Eurovision, and then it's no. I personally am in the minority that actually likes the studio song, and Fyodor himself has an amazing vocal and such great personality and stage charisma. However, I think the staging just falls a bit flat. I think, in a way, I don't think the Romanian broadcaster has backed him enough to give him the best possible chance, and sadly it's not one that's necessarily massively popular amongst the community, so I don't see this qualifying.
I think they were so popular with Hola Mi Bebé that they don't want to be so popular this year.
Okay, so 3 songs in and it's not looking good, guys. We have 3 non-qualifiers so far, but is Estonia going to change that? Harry, I want to say you are an Estonia fan.
Now, as a ballad boy, Jess, why would you think that? I think this is qualifying, yes. I've loved this really from Esti Lau, and they've kept a lot of the similar elements in terms of Alika's stage presence, how she sells the song, and the simplicity of it all. What Alika does on the stage that's replicated from Esti Lau is she commands your attention. She has full confidence of the camera, of how she moves around the stage, and her vocals as well are absolutely incredible throughout. This is a nice change of pace as well between Romania and what's to come in Belgium, and there's not really a ballad like this in the semi-final. These types of ballads have an audience. I see this through.
Yeah, I see this through too. Shaughnessy, do you see this through?
Yes, I do. I think it's very quintessentially Eurovision, power ballad. And I think that, I think it's going to do really well. And I also think her technique was so good and her stage presence was amazing. And she held my attention, so.
It's a good sign. Clara, what are your thoughts?
Actually, the rehearsals completely changed my mind, and now I see it as a sure qualifier. We've seen I've watched all of the open rehearsals to press, and back to back she's always given a flawless vocal performance. And when you see such a strong live performer, you know that it's gonna go through, sure. And also the visuals are amazing. Those blues on stage are very captivating. So well done, Estonia!
Yes, I totally
You jinxed them
agree.
now, probably saying that.
Damn it.
Well, we have our first qualifier so far, but is Belgium going to make it number 2? I'm personally saying yes. Shaughnessy, what are you saying?
Yeah. So right. I didn't like the song initially as a studio version. I was like, it's fun, but I don't really get the hype.
Yeah.
But then when I was in there and everyone was just so excited, it had such an energy about it, and he's so amazing on stage, and you could just see everyone singing and clapping along, and I think that's really indicative of of a qualifying song. So.
Clara, do you agree?
Yes, I actually asked you this morning, do you think Belgium is going to qualify? Because I wanted to qualify so bad, but it's what you said at the beginning when the song was released. It wasn't really grabbing my attention. Then we've met Gustaph and the dancers in the pre-parties, and I was warming to his personality and his charisma. And when you see someone you've interacted with on stage, you really want them to do well. But after seeing their rehearsals and how it has all been so polished and elevated, and hearing all of the chatter around how 90s this track is and how it brings them back to an era of their life, and us being 90s kids, sorry Harry, it really reminds me of just walking into a shop with my mom and hearing this kind of music, and that gives me a lot of nostalgia vibes. So yes, it's a yes for me.
Now, of course, Belgium is very up-tempo and upbeat, coming after a couple of ballads. Is that going to work in their favour?
You know what? I think the world has got Gustaph going crazy because he is going to carry on to the final. This has an audience. Gustaph embodies this style and the whole package. And yeah, the 90s kids around, so I won't vote this, sorry. No, but no, I'm kidding. But like, there's an audience for this. There'll be so much fun for Eurovision fans. Televote only as well, I think will help this specifically, even though I think this could do well when it gets to the final. But yeah, this is so much fun, so joyous. No one that I spoke to Belgium about does not have fun with this, and that's so important. This is going through.
Yeah, plus we can try and replicate the dance moves, fail miserably, but like still enjoy trying to do them.
That's most songs in Eurovision, Clara.
Okay, so we all think Belgium is going to go through. The next country on stage is Cyprus and Andrew Lambrou. Now he is, a fellow Aussie. I'm going to come to you first. Yay! As an Aussie. Tell me everything.
I like his face.
That is my selling point of this song too.
So beautiful. But he's a good singer too. He's a good singer too. No, it was great. I think that he did really well. I actually don't know what to say about this song because I was just distracted the whole time.
Okay.
Qualifier.
Okay.
It's a qualifier for me. His visual, his persona is the whole selling point of this performance. But I really enjoy his woo part, and I think that's hard to do on key at every run through that I've seen, and he's always managed to do that. And I could also listen to his accent all day long. So it's more that he's a better entertainer than the song itself. But I think that's not going to be a problem for anyone.
Are you on the same page as Clara?
Gotta love an Aussie accent, haven't you? I see this through, absolutely. Cyprus is coming back to the final. What I love about this is the staging itself is so simplistic overall. It's just about the elements of fire and water. But it works so effectively. It still feels grand. The lighting effects I love. The blue palette on Andrew's face. And you know what? Watch out for this one when it gets to the final for a sneaky good jury score.
Oh. You heard it here first, guys. Harry's predicting a good jury score for Cyprus.
This won't be clipped and misleading now for the future, will it?
Okay, but moving on with the next country, and we do have, I can't read this, it's Iceland. And I'm going to go to Clara first. Do you think Teya has the power?
No, unfortunately. I love her stage presence. I love that. But the thing is, for me, she looks unhinged on stage.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah, but it's just too much. For me, it's too much. She's doing too much. I understand that she has the power. She definitely has the power. And her vocals I love that she can hit all of those notes. It's just, I'm not enjoying the growl. At some of them, it should be more maybe melodic or sing. It would be sang better rather than growled. But she's very entertaining to watch. I just remember going through the 10 slots and realizing at the end, I forgot about Iceland, which is quite telling for me about the chances though.
Now, obviously, you were in the arena. Yeah. How did Iceland come across? Do you think she had the power in the arena?
Yeah, for sure. I really liked it. I thought it was great that she just kind of did her own thing on the stage and was unhinged, as you put it. I think it was different from the others in that respect. I also really appreciate a singer that will just get up and be on their own and really own, own the power. Yeah, and really captivate an audience just by being themselves without all of the excess. So for me, I really enjoyed it.
Okay, do you think it's enough to qualify though?
I think based on, again, what other people think, maybe not, but for me, yes.
Okay.
I'd be happy to be wrong about this one.
Okay. Yeah. Me too. Now, sorry for stealing the pun earlier, Harry.
You knew I had that one in stock, Jess. Come on.
Well, you can think of another one quickly now.
I can't. I've got... But I love Teya. I love this song, and it breaks my heart to say I don't think this will qualify. Personally, Teya and her vocals, for me, the best female vocal of the entire year, and I think that genuinely, with a bit of polish and support, sky's the limit for her career. Genuinely, I think she's amazing. That being said, it's just a feeling. I think this will just get lost by the end. I just haven't heard enough talk about this online. And for a country the size of Iceland, I think you need a bit more talk and a bit more confidence going in. If I'm wrong, fantastic. But I just don't see it qualifying.
Yeah, I think I'm on the same page as you guys. I just don't think she has enough power. Sorry. to get.
Spending too much time with me.
But yeah, I don't think she has enough, sadly, to make it to the final. But maybe Greece has enough to make it to the final, Harry?
Well, you know what we say.
The Eurobox Comedy Club, everyone.
Starring me. No. I don't see Greece going through either. It was actually in my qualifiers before the rehearsals, but I'm not sure there's... Ambitious not the right word, but there's not enough standout moments in this staging to make me think this will qualify. Victor, for 16 years old, is a fantastic talent and does so well on stage. I just worry that this is the kind of song which I'm not sure has enough hooks, has enough power by the end. He tells the story of the song very well. This does have a chance because he's part Danish and Cyprus are voting in the semi-final. So I see maybe at least like 20 points from there. That might take him halfway through, so maybe he doesn't need that many. So this has a shot, but it's not in my 10.
Do you think maybe a better staging would have helped?
Yeah, I think... Because you look at the stagings from the last couple of years with Amanda and Stefania, they were very ambitious, and regardless of what you think, whether they worked or not, this just feels like it's less ambitious. Maybe it works for the song, but I think I expected a little bit more from Greece.
Okay, what about you, Shanasi? Are you happy with what you've seen from Greece?
I actually agree with Harry on this one. I feel very much the same. Yeah, I don't really have a lot else to add. Just that he's so young, and to be doing this at 16 is so incredibly brave.
Yeah,
that's all I have to say.
For sure. And Clara, do you see Greece qualifying?
I don't, and it breaks my heart because I've seen how they've been working so hard on this, and I've met him, we've interviewed them, we were in the cavern, and he sounded so awesome in the Cavern Club. I think it should have been better staged with him and a guitar. It didn't really need, because he wrote the song himself. It's about an experience of a 16-year-old. There's not so much grandiosity in the life of a 16-year-old, and if they wanted to make him sing like a 16-year-old, clearly they're trying to do that with the outfit. They should have gone a different route, I believe. And I'm confused with the vocals at the beginning because I never know if the vocals are supposed to sound like that or he's off key. That's my whole point. And he looks like there's so many parts where it looks like someone told him to like do this move, do this move, do this move. So it's nothing that flows naturally from his body in a way, if you want. So no, but I want him to do well. Unfortunately, but it's not with this song, or maybe with this song, but not with this. What he has going on.
Yeah, I definitely agree with all of you. The song is great, Victor is great, but the staging, maybe not so much. But on to our next country, and probably one of the most talked about entrants from this year. It's of course, Baby. That was terrible. But yeah, we've seen, a big kind of revamp from the national final version, and I'm going to come to you, Clara. Do you think this is enough to get Poland back in the final?
Oh yes. First, for the serious elements, but I'm going to also point out the comedic elements that TVP has thrown in with the transitions of fire and like these pinky bubbles, petals, and so on, which has all of Europe enjoying or commenting sarcastically. But no, I think it's a glow up definitely from the national final, and I actually find it really entertaining. The selling point for me is a dance break because I didn't see that one coming, and she has a dress reveal. She's also playing into the beba with what we've seen in her appearances in Eurovision. And I think she's actually won Europe has warmed up to her because of her efforts, so I think she's going to be fine.
Janice, are you on the same page?
I can't get that song out of my head, that Demi Lovato and Clean Bandit one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for me, it just sounds vaguely similar, and so I always hear that. So I think that's made it hard to really appreciate the song as a unique piece of art. But I would say that watching it last night, it was really, it was really good, especially with the dance at the end. I think that enhanced it a lot, and I actually had a newfound appreciation for it. So I'm on the fence again with this one. I'm not so sure. But yeah, I guess we'll see tonight when she performs again.
For sure. Harry, are you a Blanca fan?
Well, that's not the question. The question's if we're qualifying here. Maybe I'm crazy, but...
He's on a roll today, guys.
I see this qualifying, I do. Not for my personal taste, because I don't really like either the song or the package, really, that they're bringing. It feels very generic and like these moments have been forced in. It's like we're going to have the effects here, then the dance break, then the dress reveal. Vote for me, please. But you know what? I think it will work. Poland has the diaspora vote as well in a televote only system. And sort of a rhetorical question, maybe apart from Brooke That's Rich from last year, name the last time a proper girl bop didn't qualify with the televote. They, whether for right or wrong, they do well with televote, and I think this will just sneak in.
Yeah, I mean, this song and performance was made for televoters, I think, and I think I could maybe just see this going through, but I could also see it maybe just missing out as well. But anyway, moving on to Slovenia, and for me personally, this is a surefire qualifier. Shanasi, is it for you too?
I think they did really well. They really, I mean, they're cute, they're fun, they're vibrant. I think it'll get a lot of the younger voters, and I think it'll do really well in the televote, especially. Yeah, I don't know if I have much more to add on to that yet, because I actually want to see it again.
Okay.
My opinion is not fully well-rounded yet.
Well, that's a good sign that you want to see more of them, right?
Yeah.
Now, Clara, what are your thoughts on Slovenia qualifying?
Oh yeah. They have this sort of Jonas Brothers vibe going on. And I think they're really likable, and the song is really catchy. And every rehearsal I've seen, Bojan's vocals have been on point from the beginning to start, and that's for me is like a sure sign that it's going to do really well. They are also very camera friendly, apart from good looking, but they are camera friendly, and that always translates really well.
Yeah. Now, Harry, do you have this in your top 10 qualifiers?
They're going to seize a lot of votes, I tell you, as much as we're along with the day. And that's a Carpe Diem reference for those who are a bit slow. But, Slovenia's through. I've got no doubts about this. The staging itself is just them, and that's all it needs to be, just them. They've got more than enough personality and charisma to sell the song for 3 minutes. The song itself is also really good. You know what? We're looking at when looking at potential semi-final 2 winners, I would say Slovenia's in the hunt.
Okay. Well, you heard it here first again.
You need to stop saying that. It makes me look bad if I'm wrong.
We'll still love you just the same, even if you're wrong.
Thank you.
Is it right or is it wrong?
Oh God, you've reminded a few people about that song, Clara. I think they forgot about that.
So next up in the semi-final is Eru from Georgia. Now, Harry, I'm going to come back to you. Do you see this qualifying with televote only when it's maybe going to be more a jury song?
I think the thing is known. Georgia is qualifying again. This is the first time that Georgia have sent something really professional and like trying to go for a really good result. Eru, you can see, is a seasoned performer. She's got a lot of charisma on stage. I really enjoy the staging. It adds a lot of grandeur, just how big those props are. And
They're probably not that big, she's just really small.
it could either be, it doesn't matter, the camera effects make it look big either way. And this is one of the best things Georgia has sent in years. I think this is getting Georgia back into the final for the first time in 7 years, I believe.
Yeah, now obviously Georgia has been absent from the final for so long. Shanasi, is that going to change this year?
I think so. I loved it. I seriously did. She's so, as you said, professional.
Yeah.
She was so grounded and really, I guess, she just owned that stage. And her technique is incredible. I actually, by jaw dropped at one moment. I was like, oh my God. So that's indicative of a great performance. So, yeah, qualifying for sure.
And Clara?
Oh, it's a yes for me. It's so mesmerizing to watch her, and she has so much energy and so many emotions in that little body of hers that she just explodes on stage, and I like how everything is put together, flows really well. It's very atmospheric also with like the wind and the elements. It's like a storm, a little Georgian storm. I like it very much.
I like that, Georgian Storm.
That should be the other name for the song, Georgian Storm.
Hashtag. That's a hashtag for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, we all like the Georgian Storm. We all think it's going to qualify. But the next country is San Marino and Peaked Jacks. Now, I personally think the staging is better than the song. Don't know if anybody would agree with me. I'm going to ask Clara first.
Yes, I agree, because I thought that was a very valid point you made there. And it's a shame because I like the chorus, or like I don't necessarily gravitate towards the song, but once I hear the chorus, I'm like the whole like. And I think, the staging is better than the song. I don't think there's enough charisma in the band that translates on TV. Maybe if you see when you see them live, they have the whole crowd going, but that doesn't come across on TV. It's a band to see them live. Maybe it's not a band to see them on television.
Well, speaking of live, you did see them live.
I did.
How were they in the arena?
I think that they were actually better live, for
Okay.
sure. It was better live, and the vocally and tonally, I think it was really good. It's definitely not one of my favourites this year, but I can see a lot of people who definitely like that kind of style of music really gravitating towards it. So I think it's one of those ones that's it's on the fence. Yeah.
Okay, Shanice's on the fence, Clara's a no. Harry, what's it going to be for you?
It's going to be a no, sadly. I agree with Clara. The staging is much better than the song. They've done the best they can, I think, with the staging. I think it looks really professional and slick. That being said, San Marino, with their history with the televote and their struggles, need to send something a lot better than this to have any chance, in my opinion, of qualifying. I don't see a world where this gets into the final, and I'm sorry to say this might struggle to get double-digit points in general.
Ooh. Okay, so it looks like San Marino could possibly be out tonight yet again, but the next...
Which makes Zed had the best qualifying act for San Marino. Let's not forget that.
Thank you
Which
for reminding
Jess
me.
is loving.
Thank you for reminding me of this amazing fact that I just absolutely love. But next we are going to Austria and Edgar Allan Poe. Who shall I go to first? I'm going to start with Clara. Do you see Teya and Salena getting Austria to the final?
Actually, I do. I enjoy the performance. It's just funny. And I think in this performance, in this semi-final, we don't have a clear fun song or a comedic song, as we might have had last semi-final with LED 3. There needs to be a little comedy in every song, in every semi-final. So I love what the girls are bringing, and the stage looks really great. The composition is very clear, it's very polished. I like it very much, yeah. And their vocals are really good. They harmonize very well together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Probably some of the best vocals we've seen on the Eurovision stage. Is this a qualifier for you, Shanice?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's so fun. I was expecting a little bit kind of like staging similar to Malta, just based on their music video.
Yeah.
I thought that there would be like set pieces, so I was a bit surprised, but I actually did like the simplicity of it, and it allowed us to focus on the vocals. And they were really good, and they're really strong women who are funny, which is amazing. I love that so much, and yeah, I think they definitely will qualify. They're one of my favourites, and it's a fun song like Finland. It's just one that you can sing along to, and everyone was. Po, 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 po.
I agree. Now, Harry, I think you might have some puns coming up for this one, surely.
Jess, just to clarify, are you asking me if this is a potential qualifier? You said you wanted comedy, Clara. I'm here all week. You could dismiss it off camera. But Austria, for me, is a qualifier. I am less sold on the staging than I think some are. I think it's very slick. I think it's very professional. But I think it lacks a bit of the personality from the music video. Maybe that's a case of they're looking for the final and thinking maybe a more slick professional staging will help with the jury side of the points. It could work in that favour. It could also backfire when it comes to that and potentially get lower than the potential this song has. But in terms of the semi-final in context, this is qualifying.
Yeah, I think this is qualifying pretty much in like most people's minds. I don't think there's a world where it wouldn't qualify. And if it does, then something clearly has gone wrong somewhere. Probably Mercury in retrograde or something, but anyway, moving on to, I do believe it is Albania, and we have Albina and Familja Kelmendi, I think, and I have to say I had this down as a maybe qualifier, and it was between this and Poland and Denmark as well. I still think it could just sneak in. Shanice, what are your thoughts?
So I really needed to pee for like a while by this point. And this was my moment because I didn't want to miss Australia.
Of course.
So I had to run to the toilet, but from what I could hear on the toilet, it sounded great.
Okay.
So potentially.
Okay.
I love you so much right now. Like, because there you go. It's the toilet song. Every final has a toilet break moment, and I guess we found it. To be fair, it's a really good. Like vocally, it's good. It's sort of captivating, but I'm not sure if Europe, the whole Europe is going to gravitate to this because it's a bit somber, to be honest. And I think the family element was a good thought. I just, again, this is not it's lacking the personality of the family, and I have it down as a non-qualifier because it hasn't grabbed my attention as much. When I see the full run through, I'm like, oh wow, this is good, but then I forget about it, or like gravitate to other, I don't know, other songs that are more to my liking. But I also have to factor in the Albanian diaspora, so maybe it qualifies, but personally it's not a qualifier for me.
Okay, Harry, is it a qualifier for you?
First of all, it's not a good description saying it's a toilet break song. That is poor Albania. You know what? This Albania has been given a chance by their staging. Albania has been Sacha Jean-Baptiste. Really, it's very slick. It's I like the LEDs. I like Albina's outfit. Actually, I think works really well, and it's a vast improvement on the national final performance. That being said, I do think this just misses out still. For me, I think the song is just a bit too old-fashioned still. It doesn't connect with a wide enough audience. Albina still looks like the clear star compared to the rest of the family on stage, which do look at times a little bit out of place. And I think just when I did my 10, there were just 10 other songs which I thought had a more likely chance than qualifying than Albania.
Okay, so the outlook is not good for Albania this year, but maybe for Lithuania it could be better. Now, of course, we did see Monica qualifying back in 2015. I'm going to go to Clara. Is she going to qualify for a second time?
Yeah, I have heard that. She's one of my favorites in this semi-final. She has the vocals, and they're there, and they've been there every time. This song is mainly carried by the vocals. There's not a elaborate staging behind. Yeah, she has graphics, but it's mainly her vocals and the singers that surround her, and I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, for sure. I think, kind of I'll call them like the Lithuanian mummers, if you like, are probably one of the best parts of the whole performance. What do you think, Shanasi?
Oh, she's one of my favourites and has been from the beginning. I think it's such a beautiful song, and I really do appreciate technique and stage presence. That's something that I always focus on when I'm watching any song, and I think that she has that in buckets. And, she just shows up, and she's enough as she is, similar to how I feel about Portugal. Yeah.
So she's definitely qualifying, right?
Oh, I'll be mad if she doesn't.
Harry, please say she's going to qualify.
Now listen, some people after they don't qualify maybe go home after the day after. Monica will be staying for Saturday.
I was waiting for it to come. I was like, okay, this is going somewhere, give it to us.
Yeah, she's in. Monica, amongst everyone in the pre-parties, has really impressed me in terms of her vocal and the power she gets in there, and her stage presence. And I think especially with sort of the experiences that Monica has described throughout this process, the song has almost a different meaning. It's more touching, it's more impactful. Obviously the general voting public won't necessarily know all that, but there's still enough to gravitate towards. Very slick, very professional. Lithuania have a good diaspora as well, which helps in televote only. Not that I don't actually think she'll need that. This is qualifying for me, Lithuania, and you know what? Sneaky good result maybe for them in the final.
Yeah, I think I would agree with all of you there.
Yeah,
and
also, talking to other contestants, they are all super impressed with Monica's vocals. So if the actual artists really are gravitating to the song, this is a good sign.
Yep, could be a good omen for Lithuania. And we've now come to our last song in the semi-final, and closing the show in probably the most epic way is Voyager from Australia. Now, of course, Shanasi, I have to come to you first. You were in the arena watching it. On the camera it just looks incredible, but how was it in the arena?
I think it was a crowd favourite, and everyone loved it. The energy was just, I don't even know how to explain it. It was rock, and it was amazing, and I think that it just made the song 10 times better, seeing it staged and seeing the audience reaction. People just loved it, and I loved it, and I was so proud. I really was.
Now, I don't think I need to ask if it's going to qualify or not, right?
I hope it does, and I think it will.
I love the song so much, and I think it's a short qualifier, and it's just grown and grown on me. It started on a good starting point, and now it's even better. And there's pyro. We love a good rock song with pyro, and the car, and the band members. It just looks epic. I love that every member has a moment on the stage, on like the camera has a moment for them, which I think is very important when you're in a band. It's not just about the main singers, and I love that about Voyager.
Yeah.
Me too. Now, Harry, this is the last song, so last chance to get your puns out.
Listen, Aussies, fans of Australia, I promise you everything is going to be all right. Come on, yeah, it's the last prediction, Clara. I need to do the pun. But yeah, Australia's qualifying. As half Australian myself, I am very proud of this entry as well. Fun, energetic, full of power. Car gives it a nice little hook and a moment for people to gravitate towards. Great way to close the show. And yeah, let's have some rock in the final. Why not?
Yeah. We could always do with rock at Eurovision, especially when it comes from Voyager and their incredible performance. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot just before we end this video. Who do you think is going to be a shock non-qualifier tonight?
Belgium.
You really are putting me on the spot. Oh,
I'm
God.
going to Harry first.
Yeah.
No, don't.
Okay, so we have Belgium from Clara.
But I really think they will qualify. But so for me, that's why it would be a surprise if they don't.
Yeah, I would agree with Clara as well on this.
Well, I'll say Australia then.
Okay.
Like, that would be what? I would be, no. That won't happen, which is why it would be a shock.
I would say out of the ones that I said, the one that maybe could drop out, that would be a shock, is Estonia, maybe.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Well, thank you very much, guys, for listening to us rambling on about semi-final 2. Do you agree with our predictions? Do you disagree, or are you on the fence like me and Shanasi? Don't forget to leave comments down below, and until next time, see you.